Yes,
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yes, sir.
So you guys know, last class we started on a new unit, which is called Racism, and we started reading the book To Kill a Mockingbird. Now, in this class, we're gonna analyze a country, and we're gonna, which is Denmark, and we're gonna see how these people, if there is any racism in this country, and we're gonna see how it's expressed toward different races. So we're gonna start with the first graph. I hope you're taking notes because this is gonna be on your exam. The first graph says how many refugees have Denmark received over the years and where do they come from? So as we can see, the migration pattern starts in 1956 and it keeps going up until 1995, which is its peak, and then it goes down again. In 1995, about 45,000 people entered this country, and they were mostly from Bosnia, which is a country kind of nearby. So we see that this graph keeps going up and it falls down again. The reason, we don't know yet, but we're going to talk about it. So let me give you some facts. I hope you're writing this. So only 3% of people who are foreigners and want residence permit are refugees. So only 3% of these people that want to stay in this country are people which we call them refugees. In only the first 5 months of 2018, 1,307 people have applied asylum and 888 of them were accepted. So now we got around 888 people becoming part of this country and entering this country with a different race. So we might encounter some racism, at least toward these people that are coming. And about the highest percent of acceptance, sorry, that was a bad pronunciation. The highest percent of acceptance was in 2015, which was about 85%, but then went down again to 28%. That means like 85 people who applied for this asylum were accepted in 2015, but then it went down until 28%, which is a really low amount of people entering this country, but it went up again for 58%. So here we can see the asylum seekers per 1 mile inhabitant and recognition rate to 2017. Here we can see Denmark being compared to other countries nearby. We can see the highest one is Germany with 50% and 2,402 people. Then we got Sweden, Italy, France, Netherlands, Finland, and then at the end we have Denmark with 36% and 544 people. After that, we're gonna have a comparison again with different countries. We're gonna have refugees granted asylum per 1,000 inhabitants 2016 between 4 countries. What are the 4 countries? Denmark, Norway, Germany, and Sweden. So for Denmark, which has the lowest granted asylum, it's about 1.3. For Norway, it's about 2.4, and Germany 5.2, and Sweden 6.7. So we can see that Denmark has the lowest amount of granted asylums between these 4 countries. Now we're going to take a look at the number of asylum seekers in Denmark and EU. EU is a European nation, or United. So we got it's a comparison between Denmark and other countries from year 2008 to 2016. We can see that these graphs, there are 2 lines. These graphs started to have, these 2 lines started to be the same, and they kept going until both of them rise in 2015 at the same time. But we can see that EU raised even more than that, even more than Denmark, and had about 1,300,000 people, but Denmark had about 1,100,000 or even 1 million. So again, I want you to take note of this. We're gonna see where people are coming from to Denmark in 2016. We got Denmark, and I want you to know these. There are the main three countries are Syria, Afghanistan, and stateless. What does stateless mean? That means they don't really have a country. They're like in the middle of conflict. They don't have a place that is recognized as a country. And we got some other countries such as France, which has Albania, Afghanistan, and Sudan. And as you guys could see in the last graph, we talked about how EU and Denmark are accepting asylum seekers. Now we're going to take a look at where most of these people are coming to EU or total. Syria, Afghanistan, and Iraq. I want you to note this. And you can see that in Denmark, we got some people coming from countries that don't have a state, or we can't even say that they're coming from a country. They're coming from a place, but EU is having some other, it's kind of different than Denmark, such as Iraq. Most of Europe is accepting Iraq, but Denmark is not. So I want you to give you the last fact. I want you to take note of this. In 2014, only about 162 refugees returned to their home countries after receiving their resident permit. So that means all the other people who are getting their residence permit and asylum seekers, as we talked that like in this year was 888 people, we can see that the really low percent of people are returning back to their country because they found like they could earn enough money to go back and start a business on their own. And we can see that a lot of these people are staying in Denmark, especially from Syria and Afghanistan, because there's still conflicts going over there. And it is not a really wise choice to go back to their own country. So now, this is the lecture. I want you to pull out your homework. Your homework was to find a racist case in Denmark, and I want you to look at it. Alex, why don't you give me yours? I want to go first. I want you to read yours first.
Okay, it's right here.
Wait for it to load. Oh, interesting. So, looks like you found it from a Danish website, and it says man in Denmark fined for hate speech on Facebook. So let's see. Here it says a 39-year-old man from Aalborg must pay fines totaling 4,000 kroner for posting hate speech on his Facebook page in October 2017. So, it looks like this speech was against the Muslims.
These Muslim men and women must leave our country. They're not helping, rather hindering. They take our jobs. I can't stand their clothes. They're all scary with their big beards. The women wear these black clothes, and I think they're leaving us nothing, resources, and our religion. They don't want us to follow our own paths and force our religion on us. We let them kindly in, and those idiots say no. We're not gonna accept your help. We'll impose our own things on you guys. Don't you want these time bombs to leave our country? Post.
Sir, may I have a word with you? Stop! You're under arrested for writing a hate speech to all Muslims.
I'm not gonna do that. I honestly don't. I did it and everything, but
It's pretty messed up. I'm gonna do my best. But you know the laws say no.
I'm paying you a lot of money. You better get me out of this.
Order! Order! Court is in session. Mr. Aki Jensen, against the accusations about the harassing in Facebook, what do you plead?
My client pleads not guilty.
Sir, evidence has been shown of your IP, of everything. It was at your house. Are you sure it was not you?
My client says it wasn't him.
Sir, against all the proof and the accusations, I'll need the jury to make a decision.
Is it not true though? What I said about them taking our jobs and resources?
Order! we'll take a break for the jury to sir. Order, court is in session. Sir, the jury has decided that you are gonna be fined with 4,000 kroner.
Objection.
What?
I think my client did not do it. I want to see the evidence.
It's already in. You need to pay by tomorrow. This court.
Okay, so we also find out that this guy got fined 4,000 kroners. Nice document. Matthias, why are you sleeping? This is not the time to sleep, okay? Wake up. This is classroom. If you sleep at your home. Let me see your homework.
Yes, sir.
Okay. It looks like an interesting one. It's from New York Times. And it says Denmark minister calls fasting Muslims a danger in Ramadan. And it was pretty recent. It was about 5 months ago. So the minister said.
Well, in the act of Ramadan, the Muslim community inside of our country poses danger to our people and their people. We must try to eliminate this tradition to protect our people.
There's a
Alex Gamara from New York Times.
there's a racist act in several communities that follow these traditions.
If we allow the Muslims inside of our country to continue with their normal activities, because they can cause a negative impact on the rest of our Danish society.
Again, Alex Gamara from New York Times.
In our beautiful country, we must allow people to follow their own beliefs as they wish, whether it be Allah, Buddha, or Jesus.
I do not mean this as racist or discriminatory. This is just the truth, and if we do not accept it, the truth that is in our future is our country is bad. Imagine if your kid would go out and start fasting. What would you do?
Okay, so as I said, this minister is really taking some actions toward Muslims and their tradition, which I don't think is the right. Alex, why are you sleeping? Okay, this is not the class. This
I'm
is
not
not the
sleeping,
class
I'm
to
not
sleep.
sleeping.
I'm talking to you too.
I'm not
Next
sleeping.
time, I'm gonna give you your fair.
Sir, look,
I'm not
I
saying
found some laws that could act in my case. I did a little extra work over here. Let me find them.
Nice.
So the laws I found are the 266b of the Danish Penal Code. I think you know about this because you researched it a lot. The 140 of the Danish Penal Code and the 267 of the Danish Penal Code. I'm gonna send them over to you so you can take a look and tell me if they're okay. Okay, sir?
Okay, that looks good.
Okay. So what is your homework for today?
So, you want a homework? Okay, I can give you a
I
homework.
don't know.
Too late. Okay, so your homework, Alex, I'm gonna give you 3 questions and you gotta go look them up. And you're gonna come up with an answer tomorrow, next day. And you need to write a conclusion about what you learned from this part of the unit, which is the Denmark, and how can you relate it to the book that we're reading, To Kill a Mockingbird.
Sir, I'm not coming to school tomorrow. Can I just send it to you?
Sure.
Thank you.
Me too.
No. You're coming.
1, 2, 3, go. Mr. My homework. I had it right here, but I think Drive deleted it. No, Mr. I don't know where my homework is. Can I turn it to mom?
Okay, you need to stop. Okay, you need to turn in your homework at the right time. There are no excuses. I'm gonna accept it this time, but okay. But this should end. Okay, you shouldn't do this again. You're gonna turn it in by tonight before 12 a.m.